got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Humanitarian. The headlines. President Paul Kagame today received Doreen Bogdan, the director of the International Telecommunication Union. The ministers of justice of Rwanda and Burundi met in Kigali today as part of efforts by the two countries to restore bilateral ties. Better Flowers Rwanda has grown into a pioneer of excellence in the production of high-quality roses for export to international markets. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency has released $25 million for providing immediate assistance to communities hard hit by drought in Somalia. Now the news in detail. President Paul Kagame today received Doreen Bogdan, the director of the International Telecommunication Union, for discussions on the upcoming World Telecommunication Development Conference that will be hosted in Kigali in June this year. The International Telecommunication Union is the United Nations specialized agency for information and communication technologies, founded in 1865 to facilitate international connectivity in communications networks, allocate global radio spectrum and satellite orbits, develop the technical standards that ensure networks and technologies seamlessly interconnect, and strive to improve access to ICTs to underserved communities worldwide. The Ministers of Justice of Rwanda and Burundi met in Kigali today as part of efforts by the two countries to restore bilateral ties. Rwanda's Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Dr. Emmanuel Ugirashebuja, welcomed his Burundian counterpart, Domine Banyankimbona, and her delegation to discuss matters relating to justice. The meeting, which took place at the Ministry of Justice, saw the ministers and their delegations discuss issues which the two countries need to work on together on the road towards full restoration of ties. Minister Ugirashebuja said the two countries have made commendable progress towards addressing of some of the issues that affected bilateral ties nearly 7 years ago. He pointed out that as part of the efforts, Rwanda has handed over 17 wanted individuals, while Burundi, on the other hand, has handed over 11 individuals. Better Flowers Rwanda has grown into a pioneer of excellence in the production of high-quality roses for export to international markets. The farm located in Gishari Rwamagana district was established as a strategic investment to boost the floriculture industry. Better Flowers has created jobs for more than 1,000 people so far from Gishari and surrounding areas, thus improving lives. Michel Bayingana, a businessman involved in agribusiness, says flowers provide a big amount of income for the farmers and that the government of Rwanda is helping florists to increase productivity and find markets abroad. About 32 families living in Bweraseru, Rwimiyaga sector, Nyagatare district, complain they are being forced to leave their land without compensation. These families want to be relocated because there is no development infrastructure around the area where they live. Deputy Mayor for Social Welfare in Nyagatare District, Juliet Murikatete, confirms that she is aware of the issue and states that in the event of relocation, people should be compensated for the development done on their land. Security guards of Kisaru sector in Rulindo district have complained about being fined by the sector authorities for stolen electrical appliances. According to the guards, they were fined 10,000 Rwandan francs but did not get receipts. But the sector has denied the allegations. The executive secretary of the Kisaru sector, Kabaiza Alkad, said the guards were punished for failing to remain on patrol while on duty. Electrical appliance theft is common in the Kisaru sector, and some residents are calling for a thorough investigation into the thefts, claiming that the appliances are frequently stolen by power company employees because they have the expertise. Cross-border traders in Rusizi district and Bukavu district in Congo are calling for border paperwork to be simplified and also want tax on imports to be revised. The Congolese are demanding that goods from Congo be allowed to cross, while Rwandans want Congolese to be allowed to come to Rwanda as before. They cite the cross-border difficulties as the cause of trade inefficiency. The Ministry of Trade and Industry stated that they are working on a list of 106 types of merchandise that will be given tax exemption, and this will be part of a process to facilitate cross-border trade. Following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Ukrainians and foreigners alike have been fleeing the country. The United Nations estimates that about 100,000 people have so far been displaced by the fighting, many fleeing to neighboring countries like Hungary, Romania, Slovakia and Poland. Rwanda as well has citizens in Ukraine, the majority of whom are students. About 90 Rwandans are in Ukraine. Kigali says everyone is accounted for and that it is working on an evacuation plan for its citizens.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The United Nations Humanitarian Agency has released $25 million for providing immediate assistance to communities hard hit by drought in Somalia. Mr. Adam Abdel Mullah, UN resident and humanitarian coordinator for Somalia, said the cash from Somalia Humanitarian Fund will be used to supply relief food and water in remote areas of Jubaland and Puntland. He said the allocation complements the $17 million that was recently provided from the United Nations Central Emergency Response Fund to meet the immediate needs of communities affected by drought. The United Nations estimates that more than 4.3 million people are in dire need of food and water, with over 500,000 displaced by the looming catastrophe in Somalia. Somalia has extended the deadline for complementing parliamentary elections for the 18th time, signaling further delays in the presidential vote. The new target date has been set as March 15, 2022. The decision came out of a virtual crisis meeting chaired by Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Robo under the National Consultative Council, which also includes federal state presidents. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa today said he would be talking with Russia and the United States following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and called on the United Nations Security Council to act to end the conflict. President Ramaphosa said the only exit from the war was through mediation, negotiation, and engagement because it is not necessary for people to go to war. We were very disappointed when the meeting between President Joe Biden and President Vladimir Putin did not happen, President Ramaphosa said, referring to a superpower summit that was proposed just before the invasion. Because had that meeting gone ahead without any condition, the calamitous situation that is unfolding now would have been avoided. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi. The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report of today. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 270,000 Rwandan francs from 1,500 shares traded in one deal on the equities market, while the fixed income market remained quiet. MTN Rwanda counter closed at 180 Rwandan francs as previous. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 270,000 Rwandan francs from 1,500 shares traded in one deal. Bredgwa closed the counter at 125 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali at 250 Rwandan francs, I&M Bank at 45 Rwandan francs, Simergwa at 120 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Utri Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. The currency market review. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.8 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 9 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buy price was 0.43 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 0.44 Rwandan francs. Ugandan shilling buy price was 0.28 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 0.29 Rwandan francs. Burundian franc buying price was 0.5 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 0.51 Rwandan francs. The US dollar buying price was 1,005 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 1,025 Rwandan francs. The British pound buying price was 1,349 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 1,376 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,128 Rwandan francs, and the selling price was 1,150 Rwandan francs. Today's weather forecast from the Rwanda Meteorology Department. From 6 in the evening to midnight, rain is expected in Nyamagabe, Ruhango, Nyanza, Nyaruguru, Gisagara, Musanze, Gakenke, and Red districts, and the rest of the country is expected to be mostly cloudy. The expected average wind speed is of between 3 meters per second and 4 meters per second. From midnight tonight until 6 in the morning, it is expected to be mostly cloudy in all parts of the country. The average wind speed expected is between 2 meters per second and 4 meters per second. The minimum temperature is to be 11 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning in Nyabihu district. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.